You got in the Dáil today, you were always going to get that result. What did you achieve by pushing it to a vote, apart from perhaps embarrassing the government and forcing one Labour TD to walk the plank?
Well, I think that's quite a cynical way of putting it. Actually, the hopes of many parents were raised by this bill. They looked at a scenario whereby 43 legal experts said this was permissible, where 80% of the population repeatedly have said the Irish government should legislate for these circumstances. They looked at 50 TDs who were on the record, including half the cabinet, asking for this to be legislated for. And I think they were crushingly disappointed when the vote came through. But
their hopes were raised, I'm sure, but they were raised by you pushing this through, even though a very similar piece of legislation was voted down by the government in similar circumstances last year.
Well, there was no similar piece of legislation. There was an amendment to the Protection of Life in Pregnancy Bill. But we were very confident, given the recent adjudications by the courts, particularly in the tragic case of PP versus HSE, the woman who was on a life support machine before Christmas. Some of the judgments by the Supreme Court in that case vindicated the position that we were putting forward, that this was entirely possible. But as the footage showed beforehand, there's a pressing need for this. Every day families in Ireland are being met with the dreadful diagnosis that their fetus doesn't have a chance of survival, and whatever choice they make, whether it's to continue the pregnancy or to decide to terminate, they are being let down by the Irish state, and that simply isn't good enough.
OK, Pat Rabbit, a lot of people looking at this situation